Hello guys, and today we are going to see about the Slav defense. Uh, you already probably know about this defense. I'm going to talk about all the variations in the Slav defense. The first variation I'm going to talk about is the Miran variation. It is a very popular variation among all levels in chess. It's d4, d5, c4 and c6. This is the starting move of the Slav, and after knight f3 and knight f6 and knight c3 and e6 and e3 and knight bd7 and bishop d3. There is d takes c4, bishop takes c4 and b5. uh, This setup actually resembles the extended fianchetto variation in the Queen's Gambit decline. Uh, Actually, this opening was first tested by Rubinstein in Mirano tournament in 1924. It gives rise to the exceptionally difficult variations which demand extreme accuracy from both sides. And after bishop d3 there is a6 and e4, c5. This is the classic break c5 in Slav. Mostly the c5 break is the important one, and after that e5 here, and after c takes d4, knight takes b5, knight takes e4, knight takes e4 and a takes b5, and there is castles and queen d5, queen e2, bishop a6, bishop g5, bishop e7, f4 and castles, and rook f3, bishop b7, rook e1 and g6, queen f2, then rook takes a2, then bishop b1, rook a1, queen h4, d3. Actually, this is a game which was played between Miles and Jusupov in 1986. To just show you the variation, I just played through the game. It doesn't mean that you should play the exact moves. Until here, you can see how the variation goes. This is an example of the variation example game. You do not have to play exactly the same moves. There you can learn various games from online. Okay, I'll move on to the next. This is the main system of the Slav defense. The main system goes like after d4, d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3. After knight c3, there is d takes c4 and a4 here, and this is the main system of the Slav defense. The idea of d takes c4 is to stop queen b3, and after e3 there is e6, and after bishop takes c4 there is bishop b4 and castles, and after castling There is queen e2, knight bd7, e4, bishop g6, bishop d3, bishop h5, bishop f4, rook e8, e5, knight d5, knight takes d5, c takes d5, and queen e3. And this is one of the games played between Veganian and Dorfman in 1982. Here on the fifth move, if black doesn't play a4, and if he plays e3, then there will be b5, and after a4 there will be b4 and rook knight a2 and e6, and bishop takes c4. Here actually black obtains equality, and bishop e7 castles, and after castling both sides, and queen e2, bishop b7, and rook d1, a5, bishop d2, knight bd7, knight c1, queen b6, knight b3, c5. And this position is excellent for black. So I think it is more important to move a5, a4 in the opening, and after a4, black can even play c5 here, and this leads to queen's gambit accepted with extra tempo for white, and then white plays e3 and e6, bishop takes c4, bishop e7, castle shot, and castle shot, queen e2, knight c6, then rook d1, and white's position is preferable here. And here and one important point to notice, bishop f5. Here actually black took on c4 to put bishop f5. The point is to put the bishop f5. If at all the queen's bishop doesn't come out and you put e6, and white obtains a steady initiative by sacrificing a pawn, which is a more than compensates for the sacrificed material. So here if at all e6, then white goes e4, and after bishop b4 there is e5, and after knight e4, queen c2, queen d5, bishop e2, and c5, castles, knight takes c3, B takes C3, and here C takes D4. As you can see, if C takes B4, then D3 is coming. So there will be a pawn push passer. So after that, C takes D4. There is C3. Here bishop D2, and white has a better position. Okay guys, next we will see the Botvinnik system. The Botvinnik system goes like, after this normal moves in Slav, the Botvinnik system, here white doesn't put E3, he goes for bishop G5, and after bishop G5 there is D takes C4, then E4, then B5, then E5, then H6, bishop H4, G5, knight takes G5, H takes G5, bishop takes G5, knight BD7, G3, bishop B7, and bishop G2, and queen B6, and E takes F6, long castle, short castle, and knight to E5, queen E2, then queen takes here D5, D4, and bishop to E3, queen to D3, rook FD1. And white has minimal advantage here, and this is the and here this variation, the G3, white puts G3 on the 11th move, and this move this move was played by Lilienthal, and is the most dangerous for black according to Botvinnik. White wants to castle kingside as quickly as possible, while possibly setting the king's bishop to target the black's king's potential position on the queen side, as well as this is the the bishop and the pawns on f2, g3, and h2 are perfect cover for the white king. And after this, the computer shows the correct move after this is queen takes e2, and there is rook takes d8, and after king takes d8 there is knight takes e2, then king c7, and bishop f5, and then bishop d6, and rook d1, rook d8. I mean, even better is b4 or b4. Okay, a6. Okay guys, I think after this the player has to be careful. The black player has to be careful. White has a good initiative here. Okay guys, I'll meet you in the next section. There are still the exchange variation, the Slav gambit and the Chigorin system in the Slav defense. I will be discussing in the part 2 of this video. Thank you all.